Well, here's that material. You just saw me picking out of that ledge. Got a little bit in here, some of the bigger pieces, and then I got this guy's all filled up. But I threw some of the bigger pieces in here. Wanted to look at them. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad, because I can't see the screen. It's real red material. And this is just a little ledge of exposed limonite. It's real crumbly. Some pieces are a little harder than others, so I'm going to run this through the mill. See what we can get out of these. This one's a little big. I'm going to have to bust him up first. You can see a lot of yellows and blacks. I hit a couple different layers. And some real red stuff. Let's see, hold on. Pour this in here. See a couple little crystals and stuff in there. I've tested this stuff a long time ago, and it did pretty good. Just a little sample, so I wanted to see if I dug a little bit more out of there, what we can get. Alright, well, I got about a 2-gallon bucket, so it's half full. I got about a gallon's worth of material here. So, let's set this up and the limonite material all separated. I got my bigger chunks I'm going to feed in, and I got all the smaller stuff that'll go through my little funnel there. That should all go through there pretty nicely. I'm running it with the screen out this time. Sometimes I'll run in material with screen, without. I ran limonite before and with the screen, and because it's a softer material like a clay, it builds up in there and it clogs the screen real quick. So I try to run limonite with, or any like soft material like that that's going to be real clumpy and clog up the screen. So I try to run that without the screen in there. And I'm also going to hook up the vacuum this time. So this limonite's real rusty and stuff, and it's pretty nasty, so I try to run this stuff with the vacuum if I can. Alright, well, let me get the camera set up and we'll get this one going. Obviously it didn't get clogged since I had half a gallon of material. In fact, the bucket's gotten so heavy it's starting to pull the mill off this ladder here. Alright, the filter works good. Pop this off. It's always so tough to do with one end. Alright, what do we got now? There we go. And yeah, I dropped a couple of them. Oh well. Oh, man, that is a heavy bucket. Alright, well, let's do a couple pans of this material and see what we got. Much better. So you don't have as much material in there when you're running limonite if you take the screen out. So if I've already got the screen in, I just leave it. But if I know I'm doing specifically limonite, I'll take the screen out. Now, since I'm cleaning out all the material that was in the mill, I'm going to actually put this stuff into a separate pan. Maybe this is like the really good stuff. Who knows? You know, gold's heavy, settles, blah, blah, blah. So, in theory, I guess, maybe this is the best stuff. Or some of the best. It got crushed. It's sitting in here. I'm just curious. And then check the shackles. You can see they're pretty close. I meant to say too, sometimes the shackles have been put on the opposite direction with the pinhead in the back side. You can take them and flip them around. It's no problem if it's easier. You know, some models or some runs, I put them with the pins backwards, and some runs I put them with the pins facing out. I'm going to start putting all of them with the pins facing out like this, just because it's easier to get to. There, let's see if I can do this with one hand. I don't know how I'm going to do this with one hand. Might get a little close. Yeah, those are so tight. Sorry, I don't mean to be all over the place. It's just real tough to... That one's good. And that one's good. So like I said, usually when you're running softer material, the shackles don't really come loose as often. But when you're crushing the heavier stuff, I think just from all the bouncing around and it hitting these heads and stuff, that it starts to back them out. That's why I also say don't run for long periods of time. For one, this is not a production-based unit. This is for sampling and small runs and stuff like that. But if you run for too long, you risk those shackles coming apart in there, and you could bend the pin, and if it comes loose completely. So not a good idea to be running them for too long. So I mean, I've run them for, you know, maybe up to 10 minutes at a time, or a little under that, depending on what kind of material I'm crushing. But for the most part, it's just a just within a few minutes, maybe 2 to 4 minutes or so run time. Alright, let me get this closed up, and I want to check this material out here. Alright, give me a second. Alright, we got our material from inside the mill, that limonite. I just want to run just this stuff real quick to see. This is real soft, real fine too, powdery. Be careful. Alright, let's see if there's anything in there. Oh, yeah. A couple pieces right there. Nothing crazy, but let's see if we can see them. See if this will let me zoom in. Come on, focus. You can see that guy right there. And there's a one right there. Right above that. And a couple little teeny tiny pieces too. I can see them all up in there. There's probably some glare right now, so you might not be able to see them through there. See if I can wrestle with the loop. Yeah, there we go. See a couple pieces. Not too bad. There's actually a couple good little pieces in there. Little teeny tiny finds. But that shows me that there's at least something. Now I gotta run the material in the bucket. See what we get. Alright, let's go do that now. Alright. Some Tetra. Some water. This is going to get nasty real quick. We're a little crooked here. There's half my water. Alright, how's this? Alright, well, it is what it is. You can see I got a couple pieces right there. Let's see if I can. Couple little pieces. There we go. Lots of little finds. Oh, there's actually more pieces than I thought. They're all over the place. It's just getting so dark out here. Hard to see. Alright, well, that's a good sign. Oh yeah, now that I don't know, you might be able to see it. It's right there. It's about as close as it wants to let me get. You can see them a little bit if I adjust the light. There's those guys, but there's all sorts of little tiny pieces. Yeah, there we go. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's see if I can get this to focus regular now. Okay. So I still got all that. I think what I'm going to do is get a good idea of what this spot has. I think I'm going to run the rest of this. I'm running out of light now, so I'm going to have to do it in the morning. I'm camping one more night anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and run the rest of this in the morning. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a video out of it. If I do, I'm just going to fast forward the whole thing. Like, I'm probably going to do part of this too. I know nobody wants to sit here and watch this boring stuff, especially my horrible cameraman abilities. But anyway, I have a feeling that because I ran so much material, that this was, you know, this whole unit's vibrating, and a lot of the gold sinks to the bottom. So, you know, usually I don't run this much material, but it was just digging out of there really good, so I just kept going and going and going. So, yeah, I think that's the only way to tell, really. I mean, it's pretty good so far. So, I like those little pieces. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. And, ugh. Alright, so I'm going to do that then in the morning. Alright, I'll see you in the morning. Alright, well, as I'm panning out all these, because it's going to take me a couple, these pans of material for this limonite, I'm just going to go ahead and dump all the cons into this before I check and see. You know, I'll pan each one down, get it down to fines and stuff like that, the lower end, and then I'll just dump it in here and go through this pan at the end. This right here, this is really cool. You can go online. I'll see if I can find one and put a link somewhere in the video, but these are great little squeeze bottles. This helps run. If I can get this in here. This helps run all the material. It's a nice little. All it takes is a little squeeze from the bottle. And that's it. The pan's clean. I love this thing. Alright. Let's get all these panned out. The closer we're getting to the bottom of the bucket, I'm starting to see a lot more dark material sooner. So that's good. Alright, I think I got one more. Let's see. Alright, we've got a nice fresh pan of water, and here's our cons from all the limonite pans we did. I got extra jet dry in here, and then I have this wide bottom pan here. I'm going to go through, I'll probably fast forward again, but I'm going to go through this stuff a little slower. That's a heavy little pan too. Now this pan only has these two fine lips right there. This doesn't have the deep riffle one like I was using that little pan. Alright, I'm going to take a peek. Let's see what we got. I can see a little bit too down here. Some super fine stuff. All right. Let's just see if I can get a good shot of this. All right, so you can see in the black sand there, and all throughout, there's quite a few. There's a little line right there. Let's see if I can get the camera to. There we go. I see gold. A little wiry piece right there. It's all over the place. I mean, it's small, but man, I'd say at least a couple hundred specks. That will cooperate. There we go. There we go. Might not be a lot, but it is a neat feeling when you do some research on an area, come out and check it, and actually find gold. Yeah, there's some in the black sand still too. Nope. Alright, well, maybe what I'll do is return another day and see if I can find a nice new bench that hasn't been prospected before. Oh, it's nice looking. And I'll see what we can get out of it. See if I can find a nice big loaded limonite vein, fresh. Alright, well, that's not too bad. I'm pretty happy with it. It shows me that there's definitely gold here. Alright, well, I hope you guys like this one. I know this probably went a little long. I'll try to piece it together so it's not super duper boring and long, but it's just pretty neat to show you how you could take some material, dig it out, and have it real rough, pan it, or just run it through the mill real quick and release more of the gold. So, alright, till next time, bye.